Christmas cookie recipe. This Christmas cookie recipe has been passed down from generation to generation. And I was prepared to share it with you guys. However, I had a family member tell me I am not allowed to share this Christmas cookie recipe because it is a family secret. So, what I'm going to do, instead of sharing it with you, I'm going to show you how I make it. I will tell you the ingredients, but I will not tell you how much of each ingredient I put in. I know I typically don't do live streams until the weekend. However, Christmas is Wednesday, and my husband's company took a poll without me around and said, "Hey, we want Christmas cookies, and we want your wife to make them homemade." So I get an email from my husband saying, "Hey, everyone wants your Christmas cookies." So here I am making them on a Monday because he's going to work tomorrow on a Tuesday, and then Christmas Eve, and then Christmas. Later on this week, probably on Christmas Eve, I will be making my homemade macaroni and cheese, which macaroni and cheese is so versatile. And I love it because when it's left over, you can go ahead and put in so many things. You can make so many meals out of it. You can add so many different proteins to it. You can make it a buffalo style. You can make it regular. You can make it with so many cheeses. So let's get started. What I'm going to do is go ahead and put in the shortening. I use Crisco shortening, and you can buy it at the store. And you cream that with sugar. Now, this Christmas cookie recipe, you do not have to put it in the refrigerator to sit. You can just start making Christmas cookies. And tonight, I think I'm going to just make snowballs. Again, I always like to use sugar, name brand sugar. You can buy the cheaper brand. I just think the name brand sugar does better. I like to use Dixie Crystal. Tonight I'm using Domino sugar, which is pretty good. So I cream together the shortening and the sugar. I cream that together. And then once that is creamed together, I am going to go ahead and put in the other ingredients. I'm going to put in salt, vanilla. I think really what makes the taste of these cookies is the nutmeg. When I put in the nutmeg, it is absolutely amazing. So once I cream together this, now I will let you know when I do my Christmas cookies tonight, because this is going to my husband's office, I'm going to make snowball cookies. If you do not have a snowball cookie cutter, go ahead and use a glass, as long as it's even. And then we will frost them, icing them together. So the shortening, I use Crisco shortening, and the sugar is creamed together. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and put in the salt. When I measure my salt, I always do it over the sink because I don't want to put too much salt in. I always tell the story every time I bake that one time I had my daughter making chocolate chip cookies, and guess what she put in instead of sugar? Salt. And I can tell you those were not good chocolate chip cookies. I put in salt, vanilla, and because these are for my husband's company, I put my hair up, make sure I wash my hands good. And the nutmeg. I just bought this new yesterday. I think the nutmeg is what really gives this recipe its taste. Nutmeg is strong, so I would not recommend putting a lot of nutmeg in. as a side, if you are making banana pudding and you want to give it some extra flavor, go ahead and use a pinch of nutmeg in the banana pudding, and it will give the banana pudding an amazing flavor. I'm telling you, go ahead and use a pinch. Do not use a lot, because if you do, it will overwhelm the taste because it is a strong tasting. Now, here, I put in 2 eggs in this, and I put in enough milk to go ahead and dissolve the eggs. And because I am a klutz, sometimes I am fumbly bumbly and I get stuff everywhere. I pulled that up. Let's go ahead and blend this together. I'm telling you, you have no idea. I can be a klutz. But I love to cook. A lot of the spatulas, my measuring cups, are Pampered Chef. I did reach out to my Pampered Chef lady today because I use a KitchenAid mixer, Pampered Chef. I don't get any kickbacks for this. I don't get any paid promotions for this whatsoever. But I asked her if she wanted to come on and do a live stream with me, because as I'm using some of the Pampered Chef items, she can go ahead and explain in detail how you can use some of the other ones. And once I mix that up, I go ahead and you take the baking soda and you dissolve it in milk. So you put more milk in here. Hopefully it doesn't splash up in my face, because it will. Then you put in flour, and we're going to put in a lot of flour, 6 cups to be exact. And again, I like this flour basically because it seals. I am making homemade Christmas cookies, and this is my family secret recipe that has been passed down from generation to generation. Yes, we put milk in it, and we put nutmeg in it, and I believe the nutmeg is what gives it its taste, and the milk. These cookies are super, super moist, and they have a really good flavor. I will tell you, every year when Christmas comes around, my husband's company always tells my husband, don't get us any gifts. The only gift we want is your wife's homemade Christmas cookies. I have been working like a fool, and so I did not have a chance to make these Christmas cookies before tonight. My daughter was telling me I got home from work in the perfect nick of time, because she was telling me there was an accident on our street. So I'm going to go ahead and put the flour in one at a time. My husband and daughter are home. I sent them to the store. The Powerball tonight is $1.6 billion. Just imagine what you could do with that kind of money. I always like to make sure to go ahead and use a knife. Sometimes I use my fingers, and make sure the flour is even. This is a 1/3 cup of flour. I'll show you the dough when I get done. And just like with anything else, if you want thicker cookies or thinner cookies, you can add or take away flour. That will make a difference in your cookies. And I know I'm fumbly bumbly and I don't speak the best, but I'm trying with these live streams. I actually have fun with it. And I go ahead and put in baking powder. I will tell you, if you forget baking powder, not good. So this recipe calls for both baking soda and baking powder. Unfortunately, I can't give out the recipe. This is a family secret. And when I did a live stream on Friday night, I said I was going to share the recipe with everyone. And I will tell you, my family members about lost it. But I showed you the ingredients that I put in here. I mean, my family members just went crazy. They were like, you cannot, that's been passed down from generation to generation. These are the best cookies you can make. And I have to agree with them. So I cannot give out the recipe, but I did tell you the ingredients. And one of the key ingredients is milk to make the cookies super, super moist, and you don't have to let these sit in a refrigerator at all. And the other key ingredient for taste is nutmeg. And if you are just joining me, one of the things a secret about nutmeg gives a lot of flavor, but I will tell you, it is overpowering. I am making homemade Christmas cookies, soft Christmas cookies for my husband's job. Nutmeg can be overpowering if milk. What is milk? Oh, cow's milk. That is milk. If you want to make a banana pudding, put a teensy pinch, just a pinch of nutmeg in it, and I will tell you, it will change the taste of the banana pudding, and it will be amazing. One of my secrets. Pampered Chef. This is, I don't know how old this is. It says the Pampered Chef, and the newer ones say Pampered Chef. And one of the reasons I like to use Pampered Chef, and that's why I want my representative to come on, because I always buy Pampered Chef from her every year. One of the reasons I like Pampered Chef is this. I probably bought this 20 years ago. And I wash this, I put it in my dishwasher, and it does not break off. Whereas I find the cheaper ones will break off. They'll break off in your food. I don't like that. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't fake anything, and this is not a scam. This is real live cookies. So I'm going to show you this. I think I'm going to have to add some more flour, and I will do that in a minute. That's what my dough looks like. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a little bit of more flour in this, because you can see how it's not real thick. And when it turns out like this, I do not recommend you putting more flour into this ingredient. And thank you for subscribing. I recommend when you roll out the dough, that's where you put the flour. You put the flour down to roll out the dough. Because if you put too much flour in here, just like I said when I made my homemade chocolate chip cookies, just like I said when I made my homemade peppermint bark cookies, you can't take the flour out once you put it in. So if you put too less in and you say, hey, I think I want to put a little bit more, when you get ready to roll it out, and I have to find my rolling pin, go ahead and throw the flour down then. And you can put a little bit more in it. So when you're rolling it out, you can go ahead and add the flour then. I will tell you, I'm getting ready to roll it out. And I'll be back after I put in the first batch. I use parchment paper. A lot of people will grease their pans. I do not. I like parchment paper. I use the Reynolds parchment paper because it is decurling, and it is the best I have found to use. Again, if you're new, I'm going to make the snowballs tonight. If you do not have a snowball cookie cutter, telling you a glass will work just fine. Your birthday is tomorrow? Happy birthday to you. Oh my gosh. You were born the exact same day my sister-in-law was born. That's a great birthday. And I always try to get her a gift just because it is Christmas time, and I always wrap it in birthday paper. Because if you wrap it in birthday paper, they know they differentiate between their birthday and Christmas. And I think everybody should have their birthday celebrated. Everyone should. And if it's around Christmas time or any other holiday, it's interesting because my mother-in-law had 3 kids. My husband was born on Halloween. He's a Halloween baby. He's my little spook, I call him. I've been married for 39 years and absolutely adore him. My sister-in-law, who I absolutely love, was born December 23rd, tomorrow. And my brother-in-law, who I adore as well, was born December 31st. I don't know how my mother-in-law planned that, but man, she couldn't have planned it any better. I'm a June baby myself, so I don't have to worry about that. But my daughter, her birthday is around Thanksgiving, and my son, his birthday is 3 days before Mother's Day. So our family, we just like to have kids around the holidays, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You decide. But if tomorrow's your birthday, if your birthday is Christmas time or Thanksgiving time, happy birthday. And I hope you have an amazing birthday. I'm getting ready to roll up my dough. I'm getting ready to I am getting ready to cut my cookies. I am going to put them in the oven, and then I'm going to make my icing for the cookies when they come out. So I will be back. I will do another live stream as I am icing the cookies and getting them ready for my husband's office. Thank you all for joining.